I am here today to talk about equality. Now, I'm sure that when I just said the word equality, most of you, if not all of you, were thinking, yeah, equality. I want that to be achieved. Remember that thought. I am here today to talk about a specific realm of equality, and that realm is feminism. Now, I'm sure that a few of your thought processes just changed to something like, feminism, that's not equality, that's man-hating. That's not the definition of the word feminism. The definition of the word feminism really is the belief that men and women should have equal political, economic, and social rights and opportunities. It's why I'm here. Because it is my goal that the next time someone says the word feminism, everyone immediately thinks, equality between the genders. I want that to be achieved. I am here today to talk about feminism for the future, through my experience as a 17-year-old feminist. I have to say the task of condensing everything into a 15-minute talk was not easy, because there are so many things to talk about. I could talk about huge worldwide issues, such as lack of access to education for girls, maternal mortality rates, sex trafficking, or crimes against women, to sadly name just a few. These are huge issues that happen everywhere in the world, including here in the United States, and I'm sorry, because I know that brushing over each one of them will not do them the justice that they deserve. As I wrote this talk, I realized that in order for it to be successful, the information that I'm giving has to come from me. It has to come from my experience. I am incredibly fortunate to have never experienced any of those big issues, and to live in a community where most of the people have not experienced these issues either. But what I have experienced are things that I'm sure that each one of you has experienced as well. Things like casual sexist comments seen as acceptable, double standards for men and women, blatant gender stereotypes, extreme over-sexualization of women in all aspects of the media, and of course, a misconstrued definition of the word feminism and its stand for equality. I have to admit, I can't pinpoint the time when I realized that I was a feminist. I can, though, pinpoint the time when I decided that I was going to be adamant and demand change. It was during a women's rights and gender equality unit presented in a class unique to my Quaker school called Global Peace, Justice, and Social Change. The topics covered, including female genital mutilation, lack of access to educational opportunities for girls, objectification of women in the media, and more, created such a strong desire in me to raise awareness in my community that I immediately started researching how I can make a difference. To influence this change, I created a club at my school called Half the Sky, based on the movement created by Nicholas Kristof and Cheryl Wudunn. The goal of our club was to promote gender equality through empowerment and education worldwide. We host and organize fundraisers and awareness-raising events that have been successful enough to buy a girl in Cambodia a bike so that she can get to school, to provide a forum for women in Uganda to practice microfinancing and even start their own businesses, to give girls basic lessons and advice on their health, and to even sponsor a girl in India so that she can go to school for a year. I like to think that the people that I'm targeting to give to these fundraisers are also gaining something from the experience. Hopefully, whether they donate money or not, they are walking away with an increased awareness and knowledge of the issues that are faced daily by women worldwide. We focus on these big issues for a reason. These are issues that people can easily sympathize with. These are undeniable feminist problems because they are so removed from most of our lives. But in individual club meetings, we focus on the issues close to home. Issues like misrepresentation of women in the media and the negative effects that can have on boys and girls like us. Half the Sky has been not so fondly dubbed the Girls Club, raising the image of a group of girls sitting around doing each other's hair and talking about our feelings. This is not the case. While there are a few male members who do attend the club, they are definitely in the minority, and I'm not entirely sure why this is, but I think it plays into the girls' club reputation that stems from the fact that women's rights are mostly female-educated issues. We are taught that these issues are women's problems. Often, when I invite a boy to come to a particular meeting to talk about a subject or to come to an event, I get the comment, "Am I going to be the only boy there?" I believe that it is important that both boys and girls care about these issues because gender stereotypes affect both genders. Predetermined definitions of masculinity and femininity confine and define us all. Women make up half the population. Women's rights affect everyone. If we are going to start to solve the big issues of today, we need to have an equal balance of men and women in the conversation. But this will never happen if we don't educate boys and girls alike on how to recognize and disavow sexism. As a society, I feel as if we are ashamed to be feminists, as if somehow identifying as one is embarrassing. Quite often in class discussions and conversations, I am identified as the resident feminist. Why is it not standard that everyone would identify as a resident feminist? I have a simple question to ask you. Do you believe in equality between the genders? If the answer is yes, and I hope that it is, then congratulations, you are a feminist. You would be surprised the answers that I've gotten to this question. One time, in order to avoid identifying as a feminist, a boy told me that he was an egalitarian because he didn't want to limit himself to just gender equality. I applaud these efforts, but I will let you in on a secret. You can be both a feminist and an egalitarian. Both believe in equality. A few weeks ago, a girl in Ohio wore a t-shirt with the word feminist on it for a class picture. The principal digitally removed the word for fear the people would be offended by it. Let's not erase the word feminism, let's encourage it. Because if we continue to erase the word feminism, then the boy who told me that he couldn't be a feminist because of the social stigmas will continue to think that he is right. He will continue to think that the words such as militant, man-hating, aggressive, complainer, and sometimes even sexist are correct. I want these words to be the words of the previous generation. I want my generation to know that these words represent a radical, misguided minority population. I want my generation to rewrite the word feminism so that no one is afraid of identifying as one because of the social stigmas, because everyone understands that to identify as a feminist simply means to identify as someone who believes in equality between the genders. The most pervasive perspective that I hear regarding gender inequality is that it is not an issue. They say, it is 2015 and we are all now equal. But guess what? It is 2015 and the Equal Rights Amendment still has not passed. I agree that women have made tremendous strides over the years, and I agree that women can do more now than they have ever been able to do before. But even with the progress that has been made, I believe that there's still progress to make. And if we continue to think that everything is perfect when it is not, nothing will ever change. One aspect of gender inequality and sexism that particularly affects my views because of its influence on my fellow teenagers is the over-sexualization of women in the media. Through advertisements, television shows, movies, and more, viewers are exposed to the ideal woman, someone with the perfect skinny body, the perfect airbrushed face, the perfect features. This woman, especially in advertisements, is grossly over-sexualized in order to sell a product. This is harmful because what it is teaching viewers, and especially girls, is that this is what is beautiful. And if you don't look like this, you can't be beautiful. Most of these images have been digitally altered somehow, so what it is really teaching viewers is that in order to be beautiful, you must strive for the unattainable. This conditioning for girls starts young and can be seen in princesses and other childhood characters that girls look up to. For example, the image of a Disney princess is one of a beautiful woman with the perfect hair and unrealistic body size to the tiny waist, who is, of course, wearing a dress. Then we grow up a little bit more and continue to watch movies and TV shows where every single woman is gorgeous. And if she's not gorgeous, she's some personality defect associated with her as well. This beautiful woman is everywhere. An example close to home is the Philadelphia Flyers ice hockey girls. These women are dressed in crop tops and short shorts in order to clean the ice in between plays, while the men, who are doing the exact same job, are wearing sweatpants and a sweatshirt. My friend Natalie started a petition to cover up the ice girls and was told by the Flyers that these women wear more than any other ice girls in hockey. We over-sexualize women in every aspect of the media, yet when it comes to real girls, If they choose to express their sexuality in the ways that they have been shown, they are called names and are socially degraded. This has huge effects on girls. According to the National Association of Anorexia Nervosa, 81% of 10-year-old girls are afraid of being fat. 69% of girls in 5th through 12th grade have stated that a magazine image influenced their idea of the perfect body. But in reality, a small 5% of American females possess the body type portrayed in our advertising as the standard for beauty. The result is decreased self-confidence that can lead to serious eating disorders. An estimated 24 million people suffer from anorexia, bulimia, or binge eating disorder, of which around 87% are girls. And these numbers just represent the formerly diagnosed. As a teenager, I know girls who do not like to eat in front of boys for fear of being perceived as fat. I know girls who have pushed away perfectly healthy food at lunch and said they didn't want to eat it because it wasn't worth their calories. If we are going to fix this, we need diversity in the media. We need to expose boys and girls alike to different body images and tell them that who you are and what you look like is okay, that you can still be beautiful even if you don't look like a digitally edited model from a magazine. Along with the over-sexualization of women comes the over-stereotyping of women as well. A boy at school once said to me, "You wouldn't go to prom because wearing a dress is anti-feminist." It's an interesting concept and one that I thought about a lot. This boy made his comment because he thought he understood the concern about the sexualization of women, and he thought he understood how it is applied. And it's a valid point in a way. We as girls are told that in order to be pretty, we have to wear a dress. Girls are given their stereotype as young as babies when they are dressed in all pink and are given dolls to play with instead of trains and blocks. So isn't wearing a dress perpetuating a gender stereotype? The answer that I gave this boy is that wearing a dress is not oppressive. As long as the girl is comfortable in what she's wearing and knows that she has options in how she wants to express herself, then who are we to judge? Along with the stereotype of how women are supposed to dress comes the stereotype of how women are supposed to act. Did you know that women make up only 3% of Fortune 500 CEOs? Did you know that of our nation's 50 governors, only 5 of them are women? Did you know that, according to a New York Times report, fewer women run big companies than men named John? Did you know that when boys and girls are 7 years old, an equal number of them want to be president of the United States, but by the time that they are in college, according to an American university report, boys are twice as likely to still hold this ambition? Why is this? Is it because girls just aren't as smart and ambitious? No. It is because we have been exposed to a limited narrative. We are told what jobs are appropriate and what we should be interested in. One time in history class, the teacher gave a war fact for boys because, as he stated, girls just aren't interested. They may not be, of course, but boys may not be either. And it is the assumption that all boys and only boys are interested that is particularly troubling and speaks to the unconscious gender stereotyping that we give to both genders for their interests and their aspirations. I have been negatively called aggressive on multiple occasions for acting the same as boys who are seen as being leaders and voicing their opinions. Somehow, I am seen as too assertive, while boys are seen as taking initiative. When we call girls bossy and aggressive and assertive, we are discouraging them from being leaders and from voicing their opinions. If we are going to fix this and tell girls that it is okay to be confident, we need better role models. We are exposed to the ditzy woman, the weak woman, the woman who needs to be protected, and the emotional woman all the time. It is time that we change the story. We need more people in the media. We need more powerful women. We need these women to tell us that it is okay to express yourself. It is okay to be involved. It is okay to be a leader. It is okay to stand up for something that you believe in. Sometimes it is difficult to imagine a future different than the one that you live in now. Sometimes when you're in a system and you're benefiting from a system, it's difficult to see how the system could be wrong. Often people say to me, These issues are so big, you are never going to change anything. But why not? Someone needs to try, because sometimes the system is wrong, and we can change it. Challenge the system and challenge the stereotypes given. I challenge you that the next time you are buying clothes for your children, don't buy pink for your girl just because she's a girl, and don't buy blue for your boy just because he's a boy. The next time that a girl says that she wants to be president of the United States, encourage her. The next time that a girl compares herself to a magazine image, tell her that no one should define her beauty. I challenge you that the next time someone says something derogatory towards women, to stand up and tell them why what they said was wrong. I challenge you that the next time someone says something negative about the word feminism, to educate them that what it really stands for is equality. I challenge you to stand up and be an advocate for something that matters, so that the next time someone says the word feminism, everyone immediately thinks, equality between the genders. Yeah, I want that to be achieved. Thank you.